Hola, buenos días.
Buenos días.
Hello, good morning. Mi nombre es Eva Vioto. My name is Eva Vioto, and I am the Religious Exploration Coordinator. Soy la coordinadora del programa de los niños de aquí de la iglesia. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, California. Bienvenidos a la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno. Welcome to everyone on our virtual church campus. Woo. Welcome to everyone on our Alluvial Avenue campus. Welcome to everyone watching the service later on Facebook or YouTube. We are one congregation in many places. Somos una congregación en muchos lugares. We pause and acknowledge that our Alluvial Avenue Church campus sits within the traditional homelands of the Yokut people. We honor their past, present, and future stewardship of this land. As Unitarian Universalists, we welcome you no matter your race, culture of origin, age, spiritual background, or religious beliefs. We welcome you no matter your disabilities, the amount of money in your bank account, your level of formal education, or your neurodiversity. You are welcome if you are lesbian, gay, bi, trans, non-binary, gender fluid, questioning, or straight. You are welcome with or without documentation. Todos son bienvenidos aquí. All are welcome here. If you're on our virtual campus and want your joys, sorrows, concerns, or gratitude included in today's service, just text them to us at 559-209-4977. That's 559-209-4977. You can also type them into the chat box, but you have to do it right now so we have time to gather them to share later in the service. Be sure to text your name as well so we know who you are. We are still trying to wrap up our annual pledge drive. Here's Tim with a quick update.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. So, pledge at uufresno.org. If you've not yet made your pledge to this year's campaign, we hope you will do so. If you're on our virtual campus, you can use your smartphone and just scan the QR code that will momentarily appear. There we go. And you'll be taken directly to our Pledge Drive website. Now, for our current pledge drive total, this is the amount of money that we will use to shape our budget. We would like to have 100%. Our current pledge drive total is, Nicholas, drum roll, $568,917. This is 88.7% of our goal of $645,999. We only have $77,080 left to go. So please make your pledge today. I give it back to Eva.
Thank you, Tim. Now in the chat box, in person, or in the silence of your heart, let's take a moment to say buenos dias to one another.
Buenos días.
Buenos dias.
Buenos días, Eva. but now. Do this one. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So how many folks got an Easter basket this morning? We got, yep, okay, a few of us, great. Good morning, everybody. I am Reverend Tim Cutsmark. My pronouns are he, him. I like to be called just Tim. And it is my pleasure to welcome you this Easter Passover spring morning. Let's allow the sound of the tingsha to take us to that place of stillness, that place of silence, out of which all new life is born.
Now the green blade rises from the buried grain, wheat that in dark earth many days has lain. Love lies again, that with the dead has been. Love is come again, like wheat that springeth green. In the grave they laid him, love by hatred slain, thinking that never he would wake again. Laid in the earth, that grain that sleeps unseen, love is come again, like wheat that springeth green. When our hearts are wintry, grieving or in pain, love's touch can call us back to life again. Fields of our hearts that dead and bare have been, love is come again, like wheat that springeth green. Now the green blade rises from the buried grain, wheat that in dark earth many days has lain. Love lives again, that with the dead has been. Love is come again, like wheat that springeth green.
Good morning, buenos dias. Happy Easter, happy Passover, and happy spring. My name is Logan Brown, and my pronouns are they, he. If you have a candle or chalice with you on our virtual campus, bring it close, as we'll be lighting it soon. Although I am only 11 years old, I have witnessed several historic weather events, like the Pacific Northwest heat wave of 2021 and the record snowpack in California this year. As my generation rises up and begins to shape the world, I hope to help combat global climate change. I want to leave a safer world for future generations. The seventh principle of Unitarian Universalism is respect for the interdependent web of all existence. Each time we light the chalice, I feel grateful to be in a spiritual community with others who share this value. In this spirit, I invite you to light your chalice or candle at home. Hannah, will you kindle the flame in our Alluvial Avenue chalice? Let us rise now in body or spirit and join in singing the song of praise, Morning Has Broken.
Surge la aurora cual la primera, canta la urraca, voz inicial. L'ora al canto, l'ora alba, ya su principio trascendental. Sweet the rain's new fall, sunlit from heaven, like the first dew fall on the first grass. Praise for the sweetness of the wet garden, sprung in completeness where our feet pass. Mine is the sunlight, mine is the morning, born of the one light, Eden's all place. Praise with elation, praise every morning, love's recreation of the new day.
I invite us to remain standing as we say together the mission of our beloved congregation. La misión de la Iglesia Unitaria Universalista de Fresno es amar inclusivamente, crecer espiritualmente, servir con gratitud y trabajar por la justicia. The mission of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno is to love inclusively, grow spiritually, serve gratefully, and work for justice. Please be seated. So we are going to have a story. Actually, you're getting 3 stories for the price of 1. And we're going to sing, and we're going to move our bodies. It's a very complex Easter morning. So our words are, gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. And now our hand motions are gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. We're going to do that one more time. It's going to be gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit, draw near. If you get confused, it's okay. Just wiggle a finger. Lorenzo, take it away. Oh, wait, I thought one other thing. Kids, very important. I want you to watch for when you see a balloon start to move. And when you do, just put your hand up in the air, okay? Our story begins.
Unidos en el misterio de la hora, unidos ya en un gran cuerpo, unidos ya en la lucha triunfadora, Espíritu, ven.
There is an ancient story of mystery and spirit, told for thousands of years in the springtime of the year.
Demeter, the Greek goddess of the earth, had a beautiful daughter, and her name was Persephone. One terrifying day, Hades, the god of death, took Persephone down, down, down to the underworld.
Demeter, the earth mother, grieved the loss of her daughter. Because of her grief, all the earth's plants and trees grew brown and lifeless. Afraid that green would never return, the gods of Olympus freed Persephone from death, and she rose up once more to the surface of the earth.
In joy, Mother Earth rose up and burst forth, trees budding, flowers blossoming, and birds singing. Gathered there in the mystery of the hour, Spirit drew near.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
There is an ancient story of mystery and spirit told for thousands of years in the springtime of the year.
Moses, Miriam, and Aaron, Jewish siblings called by God to be great leaders, were told to go down, down, down to Egypt. There, the Hebrew people were enslaved.
Moses, Miriam, and Aaron arrived in Egypt. They told the enslaved Hebrews, "Put on your sandals and walk yourselves to freedom." On a night dark and deep, a deadly shadow enveloped Egypt, but it passed over the homes of the Hebrews. Their doors were marked with the sign of God's love.
Liberating themselves, the Hebrews rose up and burst forth, singing songs of freedom and exaltation. Gathered there in the mystery of the hour, Spirit drew near.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
There is an ancient story of mystery and spirit told for thousands of years in the springtime of the year.
At the break of dawn, on the first day of the week, Mary of Magdala walked down, down, down to the tomb. It was the tomb of her friend Yeshua of Nazareth, a powerful prophet who had come in love to teach about love.
3 terrifying days before, Jesus had been crucified and died, his body buried, his tomb sealed shut with a heavy stone. But when Mary arrived at the tomb, she saw the stone was rolled away. She looked into the tomb. The body was gone. The tomb was empty. But Jesus' love remains.
Running to share the news with her friends, a song of a new life rose up and burst forth. The forces of death were not stronger than the voices of love and justice. Gathered there in the mystery of the hour, Spirit drew near.
Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near. Gathered here in the mystery of the hour, gathered here in one strong body, gathered here in the struggle and the power, Spirit draw near.
Gathered here in the light of the spring equinox.
Gathered here at this time of Passover.
Gathered here this Easter morning.
We light 3 candles for 3 springtime religious festivals.
Our first candle is green, for the new life we find at the spring equinox. We light it in celebration of the spiritual teachings of pagan, earth-centered traditions, which remind us of the sacred circle of life and instruct us to live in harmony with the rhythms of nature.
Our second candle is red. For the rebirth of freedom, we remember at Passover. We light it in celebration of the spiritual teachings of the Jewish tradition, which remind us to practice tikkun olam, the rebuilding of our world, through justice, equity, and compassion.
Our third candle is yellow. For the rising up of spirit we remember at Easter, we light it in celebration of the spiritual teachings of the Christian tradition, which remind us to respond to God's love by loving neighbors and strangers as ourselves.
May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. And now, if all of our children can join me right here in the center, we're going to walk out and go have some Easter fun decorating our baskets.
2, 3. We hold you in our love as you go, as you go. May your heart be at peace as you go. To nurture the spark of your precious life. We hold you in our love as you go.
So I invite us, as the hustle and bustle of story and our children fade, to just take in a nice, quiet, deep breath. Breathing in peace, we hold the moment, we breathe out love. Yet again, breathing in, we hold the moment, we breathe out love. One last time, breathing in the exuberance of our children, breathing in, we hold the moment, we breathe out love to our children and to this world. As we continue breathing together at this most sacred of seasons in so many traditions, imagine that your breath carries you back over the last week, the last 7 days of your living. Each of those days a gift, a true gift, because you are alive. As we continue to breathe into the week that has been, one question: where in the last week did you feel or experience hope? Take a moment to breathe into that memory, to honor it and bless it with your breath. Each week we truly honor and bless the complexity, the beautifulness, and the brokenness of our lives. Because we all are beautiful and we all have some broken pieces and sharp edges. That's what it means to be wonderfully human. We create space for whatever's alive within us, be it a joy, a concern, a sorrow, hopefully at least a little gratitude, maybe even more. Some of us sent in a text or put in the chat box what's in their heart this morning. Others stopped at the small table at the entranceway to the church and wrote it down on a card. This is just a little of what is alive within us and among us today. We do again acknowledge that we are in a sacred season: Easter, Ramadan, and Passover. In this time in Christianity, in Islam, and in Judaism, it's a time of sacred reflection, ritual, and prayer. Bernadette is asking that we please send light and love to Bernadette as they go on a secret adventure for a couple days this week. So, to Bernadette and adventuring. Laura has a joy in the spirit of the season. She says, happy spring, happy Passover, happy Easter, so many things to be happy about. Eleanor Richards has, you wrote good news, but I'm going to say, gosh darn, amazing, wonderful news. Eleanor, the judge granted you guardianship of Elliot on Thursday. And I'm going to just point out, Eleanor is doing an extraordinary, loving job of mothering your grandson, Elliot, and I have such love and respect for you, Eleanor. Eleanor says that Elliot is growing and thriving, and Elliot says, happy spring to all of us. And we have another celebration. Our resident anthropologist, Professor Sydney Story, this is her 87th birthday, and Sydney says, I am celebrating it with my daughter. So what do you say? Should we sing happy birthday? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Sydney. Happy birthday to you. We also remember this morning our beloveds, those unable to be with us because of health or mobility. We lift up Tony E., who continues getting stronger, Margaret H., Bev F., who also continues to grow stronger and has a big smile and much love for all. We remember Edith H., William H., Glenda R., and Pat M. We pause for a moment to honor and grieve the life of one of our beloved elders. This past Tuesday, Sylvia Woodburn passed into the mysteries of death. Sylvia, a longtime devoted member of this congregation, has led the women's group for years and years, was an active part of our pastoral care team, and so many other teams and committees. I know she is loved by so many of our longtime members, and for our newer folks who never got the chance to meet her, she was one of a kind. She had the most practical, rational sense about her that I loved. She was unflappable, and she had the most wicked and witty sense of humor. So we celebrate Sylvia. And we also acknowledge that yesterday in the sanctuary, filled with all who loved her, we shared a celebration of life for Cleo Bauer, who passed into the mysteries of death near the beginning of the year. And so, for all that's been shared, for all that we hold in the sacred silence of our own hearts, and as we often say, for all those who on this day have no one to remember them, no one to say their name with gentleness or love, we light our candle of community. By our remembering, may we and they be blessed. Our call to meditation is our ancient words. They come to us from the Sikh tradition. These words are Ardas Bahi, Amardas Guru, Amardas Guru, Ardas Bahi, Ramdas Guru, Ramdas Guru, Ramdas Guru, Sachi Sahi. A broad translation of these ancient words are, the prayer or my sacred intention has been put out into the universe. The infinite one who teaches all hears it, and the infinite blesses us. Ardas Bahi.
Amardas Bahi, Amardas Guru, Amardas Guru, Amardas Bahi, Ramdas Guru, Ramdas Guru, Ramdas Guru, Sachi Sahi. Amardas Bahi, Amardas Guru, Amardas Guru, Ardas Bahi, Ramdas Guru Sachi Sai Ardas Pai Amardas Guru Ardas Pai Ramdas Guru Sachi Sai.
Let us join our hearts in a moment of shared reflection and prayer. Aún florece el jardín. Though the ground be cold and hard and weary, still the garden blooms. Even as tender earth is laden with longing, new bulbs do grow. Aún florece la alegría cuando más se nos escapan las sonrisas. El sol shines forth with new fervor, each day stronger, y cada día se queda un ratito más. May there be gardeners of spirits around all who sprout to whisper las canciones de resistencia below the rumble on the ridge, so when the wind rushes by, our petals hold fast, and we can look upwards once more. May all know, at whatever stage they find themselves in waiting, in sprouting, in careful rest, deep below, there is still a trembling of life. The garden still blooms. Aún florece el jardín. Que así sea, bendito sea. Amen. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
Love is patient and kind. Not withholding, always giving its time. Faith, hope, and love, these three remain, but the greatest of these is love. Faith, hope, and love, these three remain, but the greatest of these is love. love it endures, yes. Through the heartache, it keeps no record of wrongs. Faith, hope, and love, these three remain, but the greatest of these is love. Faith, hope, and love, these three remain, but the greatest of these is Spirit of life, flow through me, renew me, Spirit of life, transform me to be more kind. Oh, only love when all is said and done. Love is patient, love is patient and kind. Not withholding, always giving its time.
I just first want to bow. We have such an amazing talent. I think maybe it's incredible every day, every week. I can't wait to see what they're going to play. Before I say anything, I would like to make a personal happy birthday to my mentor who guided me and encouraged me since I've come. Happy birthday, Sydney. Okay, right now I'd like you to sort of imagine that you are on the beach and it's a glorious sunny day and the ocean is coming in and the sand is warm and you see these two young people, a male and a female, looking up at each other with such love, and you can almost hear the music in the background. Greece is the word, is the word. And you see Sandy look up at Danny, and she says, Danny, is this the ending? And Danny smiles and says, no, silly, this is just the beginning. And so this is the beginning. Good morning and happy Easter. I am Diana Ingram, and my pronouns are she and her, and I serve gratefully and proudly on the worship team. Rebirth, renewal, rising. These words to me are the 3 R's of new beginnings. There is a rhythm to life, like the ebb and flow of the ocean's tide. Yes, there are beginnings and there are endings. But what matters most is the in-between, like the meat between 2 pieces of bread. Our life is bookmarked each day with the little death of sleep and the miracle each morning as we rise to yet another rebirth. Now, I have always loved the mythological tale of the phoenix, which tells of how this bird was said to repeatedly have risen from the ashes as a newly born phoenix, who only it goes down in ashes and then the predecessor comes up. This myth goes back thousands of years, in fact, way before the birth of Jesus. The tale of the phoenix leaves us words to live by: rebirth, a spirited regeneration, a renaissance, if you will, a joyous revival. Like you, I have felt many rebirths and I have felt rejuvenated. Like you, I have also felt little deaths. And daily I am happy and proud that I'm able to have the free chance of another day. I delight in those first moments of daybreak. I love how each morning I'm once more given the opportunity of a new day, a new chance to fine-tune my life. Perhaps that's why I love Cat Stevenson's song, Morning is Broken, and I was thrilled that it was sung today because this was all inspired by that song. Its lyrics strike a deep chord in me. Morning has broken. Praise for the morning. Praise for the sunshine. Mine is the morning. Greet the new day. The song Tomorrow from the great musical Annie always leaves me happy, thinking about the promise of yet another rebirth. There is something just so tantalizing about the thought of a new chance, of new opportunities, the gift of having another swing at life. Here is a recipe that I feel yields good results. Acknowledge the actual gift of that rebirth daily. Be aware. Notice what's happening around you. Think clearly about what really matters to you. What are your truths? Ask yourself, what do you really want to do with your life? What can you do to help make the world a better place? Then, take action. It is time to put on your dancing shoes. As we travel through life, we sure do hit some hurdles that we wish we could go around. But we know that the only way is to keep on going and go through it. Many of you have heard that when I came here to Fresno, I brought with me pain, loss, betrayal, and worst of all, I had lost faith in myself. I had let myself become undone. I came here like a dog with its tail between her legs, not comfortable. I had let my giddy up get giddy gone. It felt terrible to have lost so much, but far worse that I had lost myself temporarily. I stewed, I cried, I gave up, wasting many new beginnings, and I hated that in me. Then I made that infamous turn into the parking lot of the Unitarian Universalist Church of Fresno, and I felt sort of a cold shower. It was the start. I returned. I kept saying, yes. I met people. Somehow that gave me energy to venture out of myself, reaching towards something, not looking back at something. Then one moment when I was walking, I was talking to the birds. I was noticing the flowers, and it hit me. I was happy. How did that happen? I had rebooted. Another life had begun for me. Now all I had to do was live it. Every day as we rise to begin, we can all make the choice. What kind of day do we want? Let's all make it to live it fully.
So we're going to sing together. This is a song we've been singing for about maybe 5 or 6 years, We Rise. And you are invited, if you wish, to join me in a hand dance. It's totally optional, but if you want to join us, it's going to be a snap and then a tap. So it's snap, tap, snap, tap. And I'll just demonstrate. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. We're going to do it in key because Lorenzo's going to lead us. So please rise, embody your spirit, and if you want to hand dance, you can, and if not, let's sing.
2, 3, 4. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. We rise, humbly hearted, rise. We won't be divided, rise. Spirit to guide us right. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. We rise, all of the children rise, elders with wisdom rise, ancestors surround us rise. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. We rise, up from the wreckage, rise, with tears and with courage, rise, fighting for life, rise. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here. In hope, in prayer, we find ourselves here. In hope, in prayer, we're right here.
Woo, give yourselves a round of applause. And please be seated. Who knew it was going to be an Easter aerobics class? Oh, be careful, Mark. So this morning, I'm going to offer just a short reflection, not a full sermon. I'm going to offer you a story about life, death, and you guessed it, resurrection. The events took place some time ago at another Unitarian Universalist church, and it's a story that I've been given permission to share. I wish you could really have had the chance to know them. They were this wonderfully interfaith Unitarian Universalist family. Noah, the dad, was raised in an Orthodox Jewish house. And though he had left that more conservative strand of Judaism behind, he truly cherished his Jewish heritage. He honored it. He kept many of the religious beliefs from his childhood, including a strong and unwavering belief in the resurrection of the dead. Noah believed that all those he loved would rise up in the end times and be reunited forever in God's love. This brought him great comfort, especially as his wife, Estefania, grew sicker and sicker. They were just a wonderful interfaith Unitarian Universalist family. Anita, the adult child, had been raised by her parents in a Unitarian Universalist congregation. Her teenage spiritual search for truth and meaning led her to explore Tibetan Buddhism. She meditated, she chanted, and among her favorite beliefs was her strong belief in reincarnation. As Anita described it, reincarnation means that my consciousness, my spirit, will rise up and be reborn in some form into another cycle of life on this earth. She quoted the Dalai Lama saying, "We accept the existence of past and future lives. Sentient beings come to this present life from their previous lives and take rebirth again after death." This belief, it brought Anita great comfort, especially as her mom, Estefania, grew sicker and sicker. As I've already said, they were this wonderful interfaith Unitarian Universalist family. Estefania, Noah's spouse, and Anita's mother had been raised in a Cuban Pentecostal family. Although she loved much of the spirit and the vitality of that form of Christianity, she had drifted away from the tradition and in early adulthood discovered Unitarian Universalism. It was there that she came to realize that she was a humanist, something she didn't know existed. "I didn't even know there was a name for what I believed, and that name is humanism," she said. Although Estefania still loved the teachings of Jesus from her childhood, she had let go of her belief in God and shifted her belief to her humanity. She embraced the idea that we only have this one lifetime. We're called to make the most of it by striving to be loving human beings. "My spiritual practice is kindness," she would often say. Estefania's humanism served her well for many years. This was until her health began to fail. As she grew sicker and sicker, she grew more and more fearful of dying because in her humanist mind, that would be it. There's just this one lifetime, and then she would be gone. Nothing of her would remain. No part of her would ever rise up again. She simply would not be for eternity. Although she believed this, it terrified her. That short and strong and sheer finality of it all. We talked multiple times about her terror, but it remained. Estefania developed serious anxiety and started to have trouble sleeping at night because she was afraid that she was never going to wake up again. Nothing brought her peace, even as she grew sicker and sicker. Then something happened. It was Easter Sunday morning at church, and Estefania, Anita, and Noah were there to hear again the story of how Jesus' love rose up to live on after his death. As part of my Easter sermon that Sunday, I shared a poem that I had just discovered by Anne Alexander Bingham. It is enough. It is enough to know that the atoms of your body will remain. It's enough to think of them rising through the roots of a great oak, to live in branch and leaves and twigs, perhaps to feed the crimson peony, the blue iris, the broccoli, or to rest on water, freeze and thaw with the seasons. Some atoms might become a bit of fluff on the wings of a chickadee, to feel the breeze, know the support of air, and some might drift up into space, stardust returning from whence it came. It's enough to know that as long as there is a universe, you are part of it. You are part of it. You are part of it. As soon as the Easter service ended, Estefania ran up to me and exclaimed, "I'm not going to disappear. I'm going to be a bit of fluff on the wing of a chickadee." Somehow, that poetic, concrete image of existing on as a bit of fluff on the wing of a chickadee cut through her terror of death. It freed her in this miraculous way. That poem on Easter allowed her to rise above her fear. Estefania later joked, "Only in a Unitarian Universalist church would an atheist get resurrected to new life." A few weeks passed, and Estefania brought me a poem by Robinson Jeffers. She had taped this stanza to her bathroom mirror. "I admired the beauty while I was human. Now I am part of that beauty. I wander in the air, being mostly gas and water, and I flow in the ocean, touch you and Asia at the same moment. Have a hand in the sunrises and the glow of this grass." Estefania died at peace with her life and her death, surrounded by her loving family. Unitarian Universalist minister Forrest Church writes, "Whatever happens to us after we die, life doesn't end in oblivion. After our death, our bodies may be resurrected, our souls may transmigrate or reincarnate, or maybe we may return to its constituent parts of our being, to the earth from which it came. Within the earth and the atmosphere, we rest in peace." About life after death, no one knows. But about love after death, we surely know. The one thing that can never be taken from this world, even by death, is the love we have given before we die. Would you say that with me? The one thing that can never be taken from this world, even by death, is the love we have given away before we die. May we allow our love to rise up within us this Easter morning. May we allow our love to rise up among us this Easter morning and every morning, so we can give love away before we die, before we become part of the mysteries of death. Que así sea. Bendito sea. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen. Happy Easter.
My rising up, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, lie within your gaze, my rising up, my rising up, my walking path, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, lie within your gaze. If morning wings bear me afar, the shining seas become my home. Even in the distance there, I know your love will lead me on. My rising up, my rising up, my walking path, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, lie within your gate, my rising up. My rising up, my walking path, my walking path, my walking up, my walking path, lie within your gaze. And if I start to turn away, fall into the deepest night, shadows will turn light as day, 'cause shadows cannot fight with mine. My rising up, 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 my walking path, lie within the gate, my rising up, my rising up, my walking path, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, lie within your gaze.
My rising up, my rising up,
my walking path, my walking path, my walking path, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, my rising up, my walking path, my rising up, my rising up, lie within your gate, my rising up.
This is a day to me, I think, for praise. So talk about rising up and someone to love and someone to appreciate. We have somebody in this building right now who works tirelessly. I don't know how he can do all he does, but I know that his words touch all of us. I'd like us all to give a big thank you to Tim. Breathe it in. Okay, now is your favorite time. It is the time for our Sunday offering. As a self-funded congregation, we do always need money, but we also need volunteers and social justice advocates and friendly smiles. So if you're ever not able to donate, you are still always welcome here. No questions asked. We are grateful for anything that you feel that you are able to give. In this spirit, please join me in the words of offering. If not us, then who? If not open hearts, then what? If not now, then when? If not here, then where? If not generously, then how? If not us, then who? Here is a slide showing the different ways that you can share. We also have baskets, if you're like a stewardess, at the side doors for those who exit the Alluvial Ave Sanctuary. No matter which campus that you are on, you are invited to use your smartphones and make a contribution on our Cash App at $UU Fresno. That's $UU Fresno. Now we also want to take another moment to recognize one of the countless non-financial contributions that keep our congregation going. Each of us contributes to our congregation just by being here, bringing your joy and your struggles, your questions and your faith. But today I would like to recognize our volunteer greeters and ushers for their warmth and dedicated service. Would all of those, anyone that is a greeter or an usher, please stand up. Unsung heroes, thank you very, very much. May this church continue to be worthy, of the many forms of our gifts. Beautiful. Sunrise, sunset. Sunrise, sunset. Swiftly go the days, one season following the other. And so goes the rhythm of our life. It's a reoccurring dance of night and endings, and mornings and beginnings. This rebirth we are given is filled with opportunities. Our rising to a new day is ours to use as we will it. May this day that reminds us of rising, sun, day, and rebirth fill us with light. And may that light of possibility stay ever lit within each of you. In that spirit, I invite you to extinguish your chalice or candle at home as we all join in our chalice extinguishing, that's a word, led by Karen and Troy.
Extinguimos esta llama, pero no la luz de la verdad, el calor de comunidad o el fuego de nuestro compromiso. Estos los llevaremos en el corazón.
We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts.
Let's share our appreciation once again for Diana as worship associate. So just a few quick reminders before closing words and our sung benediction. You may have seen a little rabbit starting to approach the chancel. Patty Bennett with Peter Rabbit upon her head. Patty is our member services coordinator and coordinator of community life. If you are new or newish and you want to be connected, Patty is your go-to person. Please see her after the service out at the welcome table or in the courtyard. Exiting the sanctuary today, we do allow our socially distanced section to exit first, and then you may follow along as you wish. Outside, a lot of things happening today. First, we have a question and answer table with a member of our Board of Trustees. You'll see a big sign that says visitors and a beautiful turquoise tablecloth. If you are new and coffee hour can be kind of scary, so head right to that turquoise tablecloth. I promise you there's a warm, friendly face that you'll be able to connect with. get questions answered, maybe meet some other folks. We try to make it easier for you. Let's see. Also happening as you exit those doors, members of our social justice team will be handing out slips of paper with items needed by the community of Allensworth, California. Allensworth is the first town in California ever to be founded, funded, and governed by Black individuals. Many years later now, it's still a community under attack by floodwaters, some of which were deliberately sent towards that town to try to wipe it out. They are in great need of assistance, things simply like batteries and diapers, and they are going to be threatened by floodwaters through this spring into the summer as the snow melts. So this is a dire need and a chance for us to assist. Also happening outside, you may hear squeals of joy. That's because our annual Easter egg hunt and canned food hunt, which the food will be donated to communities in need. That will be happening with our kids outside. And mark your calendars for the first Sunday in May, which I believe is May 7th, our all-church picnic here in Fresno will be just up the street at Railroad Park. So I think that's it, except for our welcome of folks who are here for the first, second, or third time. We do this, hey, you could have been anywhere on this Easter morning. You chose to be here, and we are grateful. So if this is your first, second, or third time, don't be bashful. We're going to ask you to rise for just a moment. We won't leave you standing on your own for long. So first, second, or third time, would you be brave enough to just stand for a moment? Anybody? Yay! Welcome, 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 welcome. I invite the rest of the congregation to rise with them. You may either join hands with those who are next to you or place your hand over your beautiful heart. These are our closing words. They are adapted by words by Alex Holt. For all those who came to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus, may this day be another affirmation of divine love and promise. For all those who see the eternal story of new spring and life beginning anew, may you breathe deeply of a season of promise and hope. For all who are experiencing despair or hopelessness this Easter, may you find in the shadows or depression a doorway to light and warmth that offers you freedom. For all of us, together we can do what one isolated person cannot do. Rising up together, we are far more powerful than we could be on our own. Let us begin again to love. May it be so. Blessed be. Amen.
2, 3. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. Go from here in peace, go with love. In love.
Shalom and assalamu alaikum. Happy Easter.
2, 3, 4.